There's an organization around here that has a lot of funding for different things. So in the first week of July, I'm going to approach them directly, you know, instead of writing a proposal based on their website or something. I'm going to go and introduce myself, and hopefully some of the higher people, maybe 2 or 3 would be cool, would meet with me for an informational session where I would hope that there's in that room a dry eraser board or something, and share some ideas that I have to be of service in this community that has millions of dollars to offer, this greater community. And they might think it's weird, they might feel uncomfortable because I'm comfortable speaking in public or with strangers or expressing myself and the confidence of what I can do, and it's very much outside of the norm with the people primates in Canadian society and most other societies. And that's how I lose people, but I don't want to lose myself either. So this one is Work Industries number 7, because here, for example, there's not enough housing for students. There's buildings I see that are not being used. I also hear there's not enough childcare workers. I hear that there's not enough bus drivers. I hear that there's not enough mental health workers, educators. I have a lot of programs that would fit into, let's say, a really cool building I saw down there that looks pretty new still. I hope it doesn't stay unsold for the longest time until animals move into it and glass gets broken and nobody cleans it up. I've seen this in the north of Ontario, like $1 million houses that foreclose, and that there is no sense of society or community to protect these from being reabsorbed over time by nature instead of being used, because they already cut down a lot of nature and killed a lot of animals and, you know, did a nasty footstep on ecosystems and habitats, and then they just let it go to waste. It's not the sign of a very well-adapted species to this planet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to meet with them and get some ideas and see what they like, don't like, and see what the... Because I worked in market research a lot, I'll be able to ask them questions to find out what the biggest needs are without having to do a lot of research, because they should know. And then I will write a proposal. And this is my last attempt, of course, for this area, because, I mean, this is the source of the bank here for things that the community needs. So hopefully they will not decide they don't like me because I'm confident in my skill sets, in my abilities to communicate and problem solve and commit. Speaking of commitment, another thing I wanted to say is I went again to karaoke, and it wasn't happening because they had a big Canada Day thing yesterday. Do you know that in multiple locations in the city of Victoria, multiple locations on Vancouver Island other than Victoria, like Duncan and Nanaimo, multiple times, people have paid to either hear me sing where I was singing myself, or as part of a group, or as part of a show that had other singers that paid. And of course I rehearsed and I was decent, like I had good feedback. So here at karaoke, first time I wrote their website here at this pub across the water there, is they never answered the website about when it was. Then I go in person, they kind of tell me the next time, and now it turns out it's not. It's going to have to be, you know, another 3 weeks, 4 weeks, so a month. And, you know, I'd have to pay them to sing there too by buying something, so it's kind of weird. You know, I'd like to record some more singing videos and enjoy singing without somebody making a profit out of it. And when I performed in these shows where people paid, I had to pay to get a DVD. And in the Victoria Idol, I never got the best performance I ever gave in my life. I never got that footage. So people primates are pretty weird when it comes to money and how to get it to come their way and not the way of volunteers or community members, because the Victoria Idol went to community members, all the funds they raised, right? So this organization here is, I wonder if they will realize what politicians don't realize, because they'd get nightmares if they even thought of trying this, that they're public servants serving the public. Oh my God, they'd be like, what, Martin? That's how a public servant would act? Oh my God. But I'm a politician. Yeah, I know. You don't get it. So here, you know, there's a lot of money and there's a lot of need. And I'm going to document offering this. And of course, there's already too many red flags, but this will be the last of my due diligence. And people might say, Martin, if there's so many jobs, and people say, oh my God, you won't have trouble get a job here, or there, or there, or there. Yeah, well, you're not Homo sapien. Yeah, try being a Homo sapien where you don't allow your human rights to be violated, to have part of your paycheck stolen for this and this and this, that actually breaks the system, that destroys cultures. And also, because I want to be an independent. It's on my tutoring poster. Is any funds I raise. It's on my resume. My tendency to become, you know, an independent contractor. And the money I put in goes in my not-for-profit society, what I make. I still will live as a minimalist, but it's to offer a program that for me would be my legacy to you as a species, as a failed species that may or may not restart something in the future based on the outcomes that are coming that are not good. I don't know if you'll get a chance to restart anything in the future, but just in case, my legacy of this not-for-profit society would be there for you to increase the chance of training your descendants to have an Homo sapien operating system. So I wanted to say about being single is, man, I've asked another girl out today, and she's married, turns out. She didn't wear a ring. I didn't look for a ring. I didn't want to. It's like I was so into her when I met her the other day. But the thing is you know, there's a lot of women that would date my paycheck, and I don't have a paycheck. And it's good not to have a paycheck, because then I don't waste my time dating women that want to date a paycheck, because I'm not a paycheck. I'm an Homo sapien. But, you know, that wouldn't last long, eh? That would be like, I want to be appreciated for who I am, which does not require a paycheck. But of course, being in a relationship motivates me to make more income. Right now, even struggling is okay. I can still, when I go ask a girl out, I've shaved, and I've showered and worn clean clothes, and express myself with my life skills that shows I'm employable, right? But if somebody disqualifies me because I don't have a paycheck that they can access right now, then I know that's not a good fit. This is not the case with this lady here, but, you know, I try really hard. I document all the efforts to find this work, and I document also the roadblocks that are not on my side. They're on the other side, that can't deviate from business as usual and the norm that they are struggling more and more with, right? They can't fix what they continue to be breaking. So, and I would work really hard, and I would be passionate about being appreciated for this, whether it's full-time or part-time. And again, if I do this, I'm doing less vlogs because I don't have time to tell you about your own species, what you really like. So again, I am not manifesting your decisions, you are, right? So this is what it's like. So this was Work Industries number 7, about the organization I'm looking at across the street, and predicting that, again, demonstrating my passion, my skill sets will make no difference with these people, elites up there, that will have access to great funding that could, let's say, purchase a building where I could help, some of the international students have housing there, tutor them at the same time, have kids programs, mental health programs, support groups, life skills, all sorts of things, and also problem solve some of my own things, like have something consistent to do to be of service, but also a more consistent life where I'm not always considering moving along, continuing my search for the elusive Homo sapien. Like, I'm not going back to Vancouver Island because even my longitudinal studies have collected enough data to be considered complete. So what I said before in another vlog is, if somebody I care about there, because there's still plenty of people, young people that I worked with, that there might be a cry for help as things worsen there for those multiple failed colonies on the island, the evolutionary dead end that they continue to set up for themselves. You know, I may go back just if somebody does the cry for help, but I don't see it as happening. You know, there's a lot of people that know I have skill sets to help them, but you might want to ask them why they don't accept my help.